I might sound like a fucking hypocrite when I say this, since this channel is about making movies and about making short films and YouTube stuff, but I just really hate short films in general. I think like it's a huge thing that like people get into, and it's not something that I necessarily enjoy watching, but it's films after all. I still love it because it's all about, making movies and stuff. But I just find with short films specifically, like regarding against like feature films and like other movies and YouTube stuff, I find it to be very limiting in like your freedom. And there's a very big lack of freedom when it comes to making a short film because, there's just too many rules, it feels like, with it. You gotta make it this length and you gotta do this with it. It's gotta have a beginning, middle, and within like a 7-minute period. And sometimes it just feels too short to get your full story out there. And for me, when making The Weekend, my first one on YouTube, I was writing it, and I was at my 12th page or whatever, and there was a time when I was like, yeah, I'm not sure how long this is going to be because I didn't really see the ending to it yet because I had more ideas in mind. I had more ideas for the story, and if you've seen my movie and if you've seen the film, you know that when Marcus and Moses are, at the parking lot, they go to kill James, but there was this whole cut ending, an alternate ending to that movie where we actually go kill James and there's like a big like shootout and stuff. But I had to like get rid of most of that because it would have made the movie too much longer. And I think like I wasn't ready for that at that moment since it was already long enough. But if I had to do it again, I would just say, fuck it. Let's make it as long as possible because, there's just so many people out there who's just like talking about like you need this length to be a short film. You need, it can't be that long. Sometimes it just feels like too many rules with it. And if you do have that big imagination like I do, and I want to make like crazy stories. I want to make like stuff that's like long. I want to make stuff that doesn't feel short. I want to make stuff that's, like relevant to what I want the film to be. I just want to make it the way I want. And is that big of a deal? I think my next one should be around like 15, 20 minutes. And I think that's a good area to start. But I think if your sole purpose is to making a short film, just right now to get like experience or something, and then doing feature films in the future, why not just make the feature film right now instead of making shorts right now? I know like it's an easier thing to do, and I do recommend making shorts before making a feature, but you can make stuff on YouTube, you can make long movies, you can make hour-long movies on your iPhone. There's not many limitations anymore when it comes to making movies. So if you do have that idea of making like a feature film, you can just make it on your iPhone, grab some of your buddies, and just do it, There's no limitations to that. And I find with making a short film with like a budget and with like actors and stuff, but like I do love short films. I appreciate the people who make them. I do appreciate the effort that it takes. It is hard. It's a hard process. And especially when I'm just doing these little shitty movies on YouTube, and it's already hard enough just making it with my friends. I can't even imagine how much it would be harder to make like a big one with like a budget, with bigger actors and stuff like that. If you have an idea for a feature film or a long movie, you shouldn't have to wait to do short films. And I find this is what a lot of people do. This is what a lot of people do. They do short films at first. They just get stuck in that trap of making short films, just because like it's so easy, Not necessarily easy, but it's easier than making a feature. A feature takes years, and like depending on how long it is, it might take a year at most or a year at least. If you do have that drive to make a feature film or like a longer movie, you should do it, and you shouldn't let like, your idea dictate if it should be like in the short film category or the feature film category, if that makes sense. And I think like this just goes from my overall preference when I'm making like movies and stuff. I just prefer watching a full length movie, like a 2-hour movie, besides anything else, besides like a TV show, besides a short film or anything, just because like it's a perfect length and like it gets the story out there without being too long or too short. And I find with a short film, like, because, when making my short films, I try to go above and beyond. I don't let anything get cut out because I do want to show as much as possible, and I do want to like create as much as possible. But yeah, like overall, like if you try to make a short film, sometimes like it might be a disadvantage if you're trying to make a feature film, because if your idea in your mind is that big and grand, and if it's a good idea, then you should just make a feature film instead of a short film, because if you try to do a short film, there's just so many limitations now. you have to like downgrade kind of everything. You gotta downgrade your idea and your kind of like limitations with the story itself, and just like your overall imagination. You have to like limit that as much as possible when making a short film. And I think that's like the biggest reason why I don't like the idea of making shorts forever, is because it just like limits your imagination so much. And you know, if you do have better ideas and more innovative ideas, then you should just make features. Why make a short? You know, you're just wasting time. And it's harder to tell a story. It's harder to tell a, you know, idea within that 5 to 10 minute window. Besides all this ranting, just F it, just make it however long you want. You know, there's no like rules to filmmaking. And I said this before on my channel, but there's just genuinely no rules. And I find like a lot of other filmmakers and YouTubers and stuff, they just go by like what other people say. It's not rules, it's just what other people's opinions are. And you shouldn't let them dictate how long your thing should be and dictate how like good it should be. And you know, you should just make it however you want. I've seen movies that are 45 minutes, I've seen movies that are 1 minute, 4 hours, 5 hours. Like, it just doesn't matter because like there's no rules, anything goes. But I just hate, I guess, like the typical, you know, short film length. It's gotta be this, it's gotta be that. It doesn't have to be anything, it just has to be the way you want. And that's about it. And you know, with the stuff I'm making, I'm just gonna make whatever I want on YouTube. I think my stuff will, it's definitely way different and out there, just because like that's the way I want to record on iPhone, at least for now, just since that's what's accessible to me. I don't have a camera, at least right now. You know, I'm definitely gonna get one in the future, but you know, just making these iPhone movies are just fun as it is. You don't need big mics, you don't need like these big old cameras just for a short film. You know, you can just make a short film on your iPhone right now. And that's about it, guys. You know, thank you for watching. I know this was a little bit of a rant video, but you know, I just want to get this out here and just maybe just convince someone or just tell someone about this today. Anyways, join the Discord if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.